Hi everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome to another edition of Express Opinion with your girl Lynn Roberts.
I'm that girl DC.
And I'm your boy T-Roy.
The boy T-Roy.
Yeah.
We hope everybody had a wonderful week. And I hope you all have stayed safe throughout this hurricane ordeal and everything, because winds was blowing and stuff. We lost electricity for a hot minute and stuff, but we got it back. So hopefully everybody is doing fine and everybody is well. Everybody, you good?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm off.
All right. Don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe, and also leave your comments at the bottom, okay? Okay. I mean, when I say leave your comment, look, don't go to my Facebook page and leave your comment, okay? Leave your comment at the bottom of the broadcast of the blog, okay? All right. So, let's get into it. So, we was talking about family and the makeup of the family. Yeah. So, today we are talking about the family dynamic. What happened to it? So, let me ask you something. What is your idea of the family dynamic?
I was raised and talked to many of my older family members, and it's always been man, then woman. So, households is ran by the men. Doesn't diminish the women power now in the household. However, your husband's supposed to lead.
True.
You can't just let anybody lead you. However, hey, that's the way I was introduced.
Mama was in the house. Mama was in the house.
Okay.
I was raised in a single home. My mom was a strong woman. A very strong woman. And she raised three of us. She did get remarried. And I didn't have my biological father.
Okay.
My stepfather was a very good man. He was good to me. And the other two that came along, those are his blood. Of course, he was good to them. And he took me in as his own. My mothers, respect him a lot. And I think, the tradition, man, running the household or whatever, and the woman should follow, not to be controlled.
Gotcha.
You understand? But if there's something in the house that needs to be done or whatever, and the man can't get to it, not to say that if we needed to put another ceiling up that she's supposed to do that, that's not what that means.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But
right.
She's supposed to be supportive of him. And, okay, well, he can't get to it, well, how are we going to ask questions?
Exactly.
How are we going to fix this?
Exactly.
Are we going to make a phone call for somebody to come in and fix it? Let's conversate. Let's have a conversation.
Gotcha.
Okay, Elaine?
Well, I'll tell you like this. I was mainly raised by my grandparents. Okay. So, and in that dynamic, it was my granddaddy and then my grandmama. My grandmother didn't work. My granddaddy took care of everything. The bills and everything. He would when he came in, he would lay the money on the table. Because, back in the day, that's what they used to do, or from what I'm familiar with. He come in, he put the money on the table, and my grandmother knew what to do with it. She knew she had to pay the bills with it. She knew that you had to buy the groceries with it. That's how that was done. Okay, fast forwarding to when I started back living with my mom. When I was growing up, I never really remember living with my mom and dad, because my mom and dad, they divorced when I was young. So I never saw that dynamic with my mom and dad. However, my mom did get remarried. So, and with that remarriage, I saw things a little different, because I didn't see like the dynamic that, you speak of, like the dynamic that I saw with my grandmama and my granddad. It was something that was totally different. Although, my stepdad, he did, pay the bills and everything, and we had times where, my mom would take control, but it was just something different. It's something that I really don't know how to explain it, but from what I saw him taking care of the house and things like that, but I also saw a lot of, like,
Back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth where.
So she challenged him?
Not necessarily challenged him. I mean, there was a point where she had to stop working, and then he had to take over. Paying the bills. I did see him doing that as a man. I can say, he took care of the household, making sure the bills were paid, and everything was covered, making sure we had a roof over our head. Food was there, but it was still just a different. I guess I'm saying, how you would have like with a real family dynamic where the man and the woman come together, and you see them working together to make things happen. I don't think I really saw that.
So they were just coexisting.
To me, for the most part, yeah. When I was there, because like I said, for the most part, I was raised by my grandmother. By the time I came back to live with my mom and my stepdad, I had just recently graduated high school and stuff. So I didn't see that dynamic like that.
So question. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Being that you saw that in your grandparents,
Mm-hmm.
being that you are a grown woman now,
Mm-hmm.
you was a grown woman when you graduated high school to get ready to go to college or whatever your career move was in that path.
Mm-hmm.
When you saw that with your grandmother and your grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
are you expecting that in a man? Because everybody is not raised and everybody did not see
That.
what you saw. So are you expecting to meet someone that's going to come in and take over and you stop working?
No, I mean, I'm not looking for someone to come in and take over because I know how I am. I have a go-getter attitude and I like to go get things for myself. So, but I am looking for that take charge type of man.
Okay.
One that's gonna look, okay, this is how it should be done. It's basically, if you're a leader, you know what I'm saying, and you know how to lead a family, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for someone that's going to say, oh, you can stop working, I don't want you to work, or you don't need to work. I'm going to work regardless because I like having my own and doing my own thing.
Well,
and I've done it for a very long time.
Well, you know a lot, and see, being that you've done it for a long, long time, that's pretty much, I wouldn't call it a habit, but that's your lifestyle. And most men that have it, and they wanna show that impression, and be like, look, baby, you ain't got to work or whatever. I got this. But as soon as hard time falls, then that's when the attitude comes or whatever. And you're doing the right thing by wanting to work still and have your own or whatever. But I know for a fact, today's men. I'm not talking about anybody that's younger than maybe 30. I'm talking about today's men. They looking for that solidness with another woman. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be that woman that's making $100,000 a year or nothing like that. But pull your weight. You know what I mean? If I'm paying the mortgage and the light bill, I'm paying the car insurance and the car note. What that leaves you?
Water.
Yeah.
Cable.
Yeah. I mean,
And I ain't got a problem with that.
I mean, with that being said, you know what I'm saying? You still have some women.
They don't want to do that.
They don't want to do that. And you still have some women that don't appreciate that man that's doing.
Okay, so what's your take on that?
Okay, so I want to ask T-Roy something. When you said that your mom remarried, when she remarried, because she was raising you and you said she's a strong woman. Strong woman marrying a strong man doesn't make her doesn't diminish her strength. Thank you. But when she remarried, how did she change as far as the structure of the household? Because she was a single mom.
Good question.
And was over everything. And then she got married. So she had to step back in order to allow him to take over.
Exactly.
So how did her role change when she remarried? What did you see?
What I saw her become a better woman.
How?
And what I mean by being a better woman is letting him take charge. You understand?
Okay. Yeah.
I saw that. He brought home the money and he did just what your granddaddy do. He still does it today. He still does it today. And he comes home, he put that money in her hand, she handled her business. When he come home, not 30 minutes, there's a plate coming out that kitchen into the room for him.
Exactly. And
showing the appreciation.
That's another thing I left off, because when we were growing up, let me tell you something. When we were growing up, because my grandfather was a master mechanic.
Okay.
And everybody in town came to my grandfather to fix their car.
Okay.
They wouldn't go nowhere else. They was going to Mr. Willie. My granddad retired from fixing cars, and they still came to the house. Mm-hmm. My granddad, it was like, okay, granddad, you say you retired, but you got cars lined up in the front yard for people to come.
Money.
Man, no, but the thing about it is, every time they said, well, Mr. Willie, how much I owe you? Whatever you want to give me. That was his answer.
But you know what?
But the thing about it is, I mean, when he would come in, like I said, he put the money on the table. Me and my cousins, when we were going to school, because both me and my cousin lived with my grandparents.
Okay.
We get off that school bus every day. We walk in that door at 3:45. There is dinner on the stove.
On the stove.
My grandmama would get up before my granddaddy left. He had breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Before he left. In the afternoon, when he came in after fixing cars out there in the fields with the because we had he had gardens like with corn, all kind of stuff, you know, collard greens, all of that. He was growing all of that. When he came in that door after working out there in the fields, after slopping hogs, after running after chickens, feeding rabbits and stuff, when he came in that door that afternoon and he washed his hands, he sat down at that table.
It was food.
There was a plate sitting at that table,
waiting
on him when he got there.
We don't have women like that.
No.
That's a lie.
No,
that's a lie.
Let me tell you the difference between then and now. Your grandmother, was she working? First of all, that's the first key.
Yep.
Now you have two working bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you something, because you say that, you know, you want the woman to pay half the bills.
I know what you're saying.
Okay,
I got you.
Not half, but you know. So, do she do that, and now she still has to do what her grandmother did? Like, make sure make sure that the clothes are washed, the house is clean, the food is done, and she's paying bills too? And do you think that makes it 50? Do you believe in 50-50? You still think there is 80-20? How does that role look in a house? Because you have guys now that say, well, I pay all the major bills. I pay the mortgage. I pay the insurance. I pay the car note. I pay this. All she got to do is pay the light bill and put food in the house. But she still has to cook. She still has to clean. She still has to make sure that, you know, you're good. The kids are taken care of. And I don't really think men know, unless you are
the magnitude.
Unless you are a single father, unless you're a single father or you are a father that's very involved in your household, which we know it is less than more. Mm-hmm. Understand the time and the energy it takes to raise children.
Oh, I know.
But I'm saying, but you have ones that, you know, you're supposed to take care of the kids. You're supposed to go to work, and when I get off work and you worked all day, you still supposed to have dinner done by the time I get there. You still need to have the clothes washed. You still need to have the house clean. So,
and not to mention, at night they want you all nice in your negligee and everything and ready to get it on.
And you're paying bills too. So now how does that balance work? Because now the man is only paying bills. He ain't really doing a whole lot of other things.
Okay. Well, let me say this. Number one, the first thing you said as far as the bills and being, you know, taking care of the cooking and the cleaning and all this other stuff. I think cooking and the cleaning should be a 50-50 thing. Okay? I have done that. Mm-hmm. I've cooked. I be like, look, don't worry about cooking, I'll cook. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just take whatever out of the freezer when I get there, you know, I'll take care of it. Mm-hmm. I've done that. Mm-hmm. As far as the second thing you said, as far as the kids and everything, I can adapt to that. I can relate to it wholeheartedly. Mm-hmm. I've gotten custody of my kids. Mm-hmm. You know? Not to say too much of anything, but I wanted my kids to come stay with me. Mm-hmm. My kids didn't want to come stay with me. They wanted to go stay at my mom's house.
You structured.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't want that structure.
And that's what it was. Not only that, it was like I said, I don't want to get into too much of my personal, but they didn't want my kids around when I was around.
Okay.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that right there, when my mom called me, hey, the kids need this, the kids need that, they got it. You know what I mean? Christmas, birthdays, holidays, or whatever. All
In
of
between.
that. They got it. Everything in between too. They got it. Or whatever. My mom did a lot. She did a lot. Okay? But as far as the kids goes, yeah. I think that everybody should be on that. Okay? So the last thing you mentioned was how do we balance that? How do we balance that? We have some guys that just don't know how. They don't know how. Because
know how to do what?
they don't know how to cook.
Okay.
They don't know how to clean.
Because it's always been done for them.
Because it's always been done for them because they have those parents who did it for them.
Or mother.
Or mother. You know what I mean?
Mama's boys.
Or mama's boys. They don't know how. So they don't know how to cook. So what they would do, come on baby, let's go get something to eat. Or they'll go buy something to eat and come back with it. Or they'll probably just say, mama, you know how to do this. You make this because, me and, want to eat. Well, tell them, y'all just come on over here. All right, hey, we're going to mama's house. Mama going to cook. So we all right.
Oh, that was your way of getting around having to cook.
No.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the guys. I'm talking about the guys in general.
Yeah.
Getting around, those ones who don't know how to get around. I don't want to fix your home cooked meal because I don't know how to cook. But
I don't know how to cook. And yeah, see, and instead of just saying that, and that's all a part of, you have to be honest with one another. If you don't know how to cook, say you don't know how to cook. Or I don't know how to cook that. Or what you want to eat. Well, don't tell me what you want to eat because if you don't know how to cook, if you don't know how to fry chicken, we got a problem.
Okay.
I like my chicken fried hard. So if you can leave it in there for a little bit, not burnt, but hard. You know what I mean?
You like that crispy.
I like the crispy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like that. You got a lot of people, you got a lot of guys, they don't even know how to cook rice.
Yeah.
They go out and buy a rice cooker. I know women don't know how to do it either. But you go get a rice cooker, all you gotta do is press the button and keep it moving.
Well, I know how to cook rice on the stove, by itself. But I would say that rice cooker is so much more convenient. You will never burn rice. If you burn rice in a rice cooker, I don't know what to tell you. It won't even burn, I don't think.
I mean,
see what happened was
so. You know how you use it?
I look.
I know you just didn't stop.
Hey, we being honest.
Rice.
I like to cook mine on the stove.
Oh my
See,
God.
I like to do it the old-fashioned way. Me and that rice cooker, I was trying it, and I'm like, just give me my pot and let me cook my rice the way I know how to cook my rice. But actually, I don't think I was the one that burnt the rice. I think my daughter is the one that burnt the rice.
In a rice cooker?
In a rice cooker. I think she forgot about it. I think you.
I'm never did it either.
Yeah, yes, it can be done. It can be done.
She must have put no water in.
I don't know what she did. All
So
I
you
know
had
is
crunchy rice?
all I know is how you.
You smell it.
Something.
You smell that?
Yeah, and you like you cook, and then you put it
Oh shit, baby.
I put rice in a rice cooker and went to church, and it was not burned. No.
I mean, yeah, but you have some people, they don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean. I mean, man, I promise you, if you was to leave me in here, for the whole day, when you come back, you would swear I had help in here. My mother, I've been the only child for 11 years before my brother and sister were born.
Oh, wow.
So I had to do a lot on my own. Wash dishes? Come on.
Excuse me, this fly's getting on my nervous condition. But go ahead.
There was not no dishwasher. I had to wash dishes.
Oh, Lord.
My Aunt Liz, my Aunt Paulette, my mother, Perry, I appreciate y'all. Those were the three-headed women in my life.
But you know what's funny?
What?
I've been in places with dishwashers, and I still prefer with the dishwasher in the house to
wash the dishes. Yep.
They will tell me not to use it.
Well,
my mother still today has a dishwasher.
You know what?
In
While you playing,
kitchen,
I tell my kids that too. They be like, we put the dishes in the dishwasher.
No.
No, you can't.
No, wash
You the dishwasher. Wash them dishes.
I know how to wash.
And I think I'm like you because that's what they used to do me. You ain't putting them dishes in. Wash them dishes.
Washing clothes? I had to wash my own clothes, so I know how to separate clothes. You know, put the white with the white, the red clothes with the red clothes, dark clothes with dark clothes, blue jean clothes with blue jean clothes, and all that other stuff. I know when to use the bleach, how much bleach to use. I know how to use the detergent. Use the fabric softener.
Well,
then when I'm drying clothes, I'm sorry. Then when I'm drying clothes, I'm putting all the fabric sheets in there. You know, y'all put like 30 of them in there.
Oh Lord.
I put
Man,
I put 2.
Man,
But okay,
y'all don't know.
so we were talking about the tradition. So what do you think happened? When did that dynamic start to change?
When you moved out your parents' house and you did not have to do that no more.
You think that was the reason?
You
I
think
think
that's what it
that's the
changed?
reason why some of these guys or some of these women, you know, when I know you have walked into some of these people's houses and their houses is nasty as fuck, and you're like, damn, God, you don't clean your shit. I walked into some homeboys' houses and I'm like, well, damn, bro.
Wow.
You need to do something, man. I do this, I do that. And I'm like, your personal hygiene, washing.
Knock on wood.
Okay, because
I don't think that's happened
gone.
to me yet.
I've never gone to a guy's house in this house.
Because let me tell you, if it's nasty, if it's like that, I'm probably
not
not.
gonna.
I'm not staying.
Man, listen.
I'll probably look in the door and be like, "Oh yeah, well I just stopped by to say hi. You know, I ain't got time to stay and sit down." And
I
talk
done
to
walked
them.
into some women houses that have not went back because their house is nasty. Let me tell you something. I have went to a women's house and she was like, "You want me to cook for you?" I'm like, "What you gonna cook?" Okay, she cooked. When I get there, you gotta wash out plates, forks, and stuff just for me to eat. It's not already done. Oh, that's a turn off.
How she cook in the kitchen and dishes?
It's a turn off. I ain't hungry no more. I just said it's a turn off. I ain't hungry no more. Y'all women.
I don't know what it
Y'all
is.
need to clean
No.
the houses.
Some women.
Some women.
Yeah.
Some women.
All right.
Y'all need to clean your houses. Don't worry about nobody else. Worry about yourself.
Well, then.
Or don't have no company.
Wow.
Man, when did
Men,
try?
clean your house. Oh, I was on that.
Yeah, you was.
Clean your house. Your bathroom shouldn't be looking like that. Your kitchen shouldn't be looking like that. Listen, clean. That's all I got to say.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So when do you think things started to change?
I think things started to change when I think like the early 70s, to be honest. If you want to go back and really look at when the family dynamic changed, when people started being able to get like public assistance, and then all of these rules and regulations came in with public assistance. Like if you get public assistance, like you can't have a man in the household, and things like that started to happen. Y'all familiar with that?
Yeah.
So back when the civil rights movement, right after the civil rights movement happened, a lot of things started to change, especially for the black family and that family dynamic. Okay. I think that's when it started to change. And where if you had a man in the household, then you weren't able to get this assistance, or then if you moving past forward to like present day, where now you have more women who are independent, and I can do this. I can pay my own bills. I don't need you to pay my bills and all of this other kind of stuff. I don't need a man for this. I don't need a man for that. I think a lot of that has a lot to do with it. And I think it's the mentality of with women and men as they're growing up and what is fed to them when they're growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you had some parents or some women telling their daughters, you need to grow up, be independent. You don't need a man to do this. You don't need a man to do that. And you can pay your own bills. You can strive to do this so you don't have to depend on no man.
Right.
And it's not necessarily a dependency on the man, because I think it's more of a companionship and a partnership that you're looking for with that man.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily you're depending on him. It's that y'all trying to come together to grow as a family. And I think a lot changed with the all the alphabets when they came out. I'm sorry, look, I have nothing against it. Look, love who you love, all that kind of stuff. I ain't got nothing against it. But I just can't keep up with all them doggone alphabets. I'm just saying, y'all keep adding letters. I get confused. But anywho, it like the family dynamic changed when you started having the same-sex parents and stuff. So that added to the change of the family dynamic. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that it changed. That's it. You got a lot of where you got interracial adoption now, where you got a lot of like white families adopting black kids, and I don't know if you see as much as black families adopting white kids.
Don't.
Exactly.
You don't see black family adopting white kids. If it is, it's because they were good friends with the family, and maybe that child came to live with them. But to say a black family goes out to adopt a white child, I don't know of that.
What are you laughing about? What is so funny?
Hey, I'm about to tell you the reason why black people don't adopt white kids.
Why?
The white kids kill parents. Hey,
That is not funny.
fuck you, mom. They in the room building bombs and shit. No,
there we go.
I don't want no white child.
Then the thing
I don't want no white kid.
it just went left. I mean left. That
But
way.
it's still family dynamics though.
But
It's
yeah.
still, you trying to see what little Joey in the room doing? You knocking on the door. Leave me alone, mom.
But wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. See, one thing about that ain't gonna happen in a black household.
Hey,
The door's coming off the head.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen in a black household. You know that. You try that in a black household. You sit up there and you tell your mama, fuck you, mom. Really? Funeral services for little Johnny will be held.
Look, there's no such thing as go in the corner. I'm not going. Yes, you are. I'm not.
Yeah, we not
You
doing
are.
that.
And you see one thing, you gonna do more than sit in that corner.
man, listen.
Look,
Yeah, because you're gonna be unconscious in the corner.
Exactly.
So yeah, I can't say that about, but in a black household. But I will say today's new black parents, yeah, that could happen with today's new black parents. But I'm talking about Willie and Donna parenting back in the day.
Oh man.
I think the Albertas, the Lucys, the what was the other one? The Brendas,
the Genevas, Mahaleys, Georgia. Anybody named Georgia?
Savannah.
Okay.
Look,
Miss Gertrude, Miss Alice,
Jeannie Mae,
Johnny Mae with a Mae. Yeah. There you go.
My mama.
Johnny
Okay.
Mae, Susie Mae,
Okay.
Lizzie Mae. If they have any of those names,
Look, I promise y'all, I don't even remember what I said to my mother. I don't even remember what I said. All I remember, my mom used to wear this. She had this emerald ring that she used to wear, and it had like 20 different emeralds, like the little emeralds, like something like that. But it was like, it was
sitting
like
up.
sitting up. And I promise you, I don't remember what I said.
she knocked it from your memory.
Man, look, all I know is I had an imprint of that emerald ring when I woke up. It was right here.
I bet you whatever it was you did, you did do it again.
Whatever it is, I don't know. But all I remember is that ring print.
Oh, so she Men in Black you.
That, man, look. Yes.
Look,
And they wasn't even out then.
Men in Black you.
Shoot. And that's all I remember seeing. I don't remember nothing else from that point. Nothing. So that's what I'm saying with the family dynamics. Yeah. That it's a whole different ball game today. It's a whole different ball game.
I think another reason why, it changed was because I remember getting in trouble. My Aunt Paulette
Paulette, it's another name.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, my Aunt Paulette, my Aunt Liz,
Sarah.
Paulette, they don't play.
Oh, yeah, because I got Aunt Sarah. I
Anybody
had
Sarah?
2 Aunt Sarahs. Uh-huh.
So my Aunt Paulette, you know, I was coming home from school, and she asked me, she was like, well, why are you getting home so late? Well, I was trying out for the little basketball team that they had. You know, I just didn't tell her. I got home late, and she was like, well, where you been? I was at the school. Man, listen, I guess she didn't believe me. And she rolled that newspaper up.
Oh, Lord.
And she went to ask me again. She said, I'm going to ask you one more time. Where you been? I was at the school. Bah! Dead in my mouth. Newspaper like I was a dog now. Boy, when I tell you, I said I would never do my kids like that. You know what I mean? I want to get to the bottom of it. See, that right there was a reason for me to say, okay, it's this part right here is going to change.
Yeah.
Things happen to certain kids when they become adults and they have their own kids.
Yeah.
They don't want to see their kids go through that or feel that way because they're protecting them from what they went through. So that's a lot. That right there is a change too.
I mean, I get that, but some of these kids need that.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Some kids right now today need a good ass whooping. I'm sorry.
You know what? Here's the basis. Here's what he said.
Yeah.
Because the parents were treated like that, they said they weren't
Going
going to
treat
treat
their kids like that.
That is one of the reasons that the kids are the way they are. Because when you were little, when I get up, I'm not going to do this to my kids.
Exactly.
I think everybody to a point said that. Some people actually act on it. But when you get older, if you really admit to yourself, I am glad my mom did what she did.
Yeah.
Because
you turned out to be the person that you are today because of how you were raised.
Exactly. Like, you're not going to talk back to her. Disrespect is not an option.
Exactly.
If I say I need it done, I want it done, get it done, or it's going to be
Problems.
Consequences and repercussions.
Like,
I couldn't even look at my grandma's side. If I even accidentally did like this, what? Where my switch?
Who you looking at?
Exactly. Man, it was an accident, Grandma. I promise. It was. Look, it wasn't towards you. It wasn't towards you. It wasn't.
I'm gonna tell you another thing. I think has changed the structure in the household. I think children are being exposed, and I'm gonna tell you how this transforms to
Yes,
they are much more exposed to things. And I would say it could have started with our generation. We got exposed to certain things early, and what happens is generations, they start happening earlier and earlier, because I know teen pregnancy was a huge issue. So you had kids raising kids, but you get exposed to a lot of things, and back then it was a sweeping under the carpet thing. You know, my mom's generation was like sweeping under the carpet, like what goes in this house stays in this house. Yeah. So when you growing up, you started doing the same thing, except you had that free love that was going on in the 70s. And I think free love, people was doing, other things, and so more stuff got exposed. So I think with generations, people started trying different things. And so now you have kids that are having kids, don't know how, and then the parents end up taking care of them, so the kids still don't have the responsibility of being parents. So now when these kids grow up to become parents, guys are, well, I don't have to do that, and, they're not taking care of the kids because the parents are, so child support wasn't an issue. This child support didn't start hitting until, a little bit later on.
Not only that, you gotta look at it. They even got shows about teen pregnancy now. Teen mom. Yes. You glorifying it.
So, that's a family structure dynamic I think has changed the way households function too. I think people are starting to get back to that, but it's a life cycle, and I think people are starting to get back to it. But I think even with that being said, the 80-20 rule, the 50-50, and now it's the 100-0. I know. I was talking to someone. He worked, he cooked, he cleaned, and had kids and did homework, and the wife did nothing.
Wow.
And I'm like, why? Like, you don't say anything. Well, but I think it's what people allow to happen. When you start something off, you got to be prepared to continue that. So if you allow it to happen in the beginning, this is what you can't change midstream and be like, okay, you need to start cooking and cleaning. Not unless something happened to the family. Like you say, if he had a job and lost his job and he got another job but wasn't paying as much, I think it's a responsibility. Hey, I need to get out and go get me a job, so I can help out with the, the bills. If something should come up later and he said, well, baby, I don't want you to work, go back to taking it, that's fine. I don't even think that, I think a woman working should be optional. And let me clarify that for it.
Yeah,
if he don't want her to work, it's her option whether or not she don't want to work.
Now
you have guys that say, I don't want you to work. And they literally make it very hard for them to work. Because, for instance, and I know it's one of those crazy realities, even on the reality show Housewives of Atlanta, you had, when the babies came, the guys wanted them to stop doing things and wanted them to just focus on the house and take care of the baby. They wanted to have their own money. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think women can work and women can be in the house as well. But if you can't make it a double standard. You can't say, I'm paying all the bills and you do nothing. And then when she starts, and then if she's working and you're working and she's contributing, she still has to do everything. I think, like you say, it should be a come together. Okay, look, I know you working, you might not get off until 10 o'clock. I'm going to get off, I'm going to go ahead and cook dinner.
And I think that's fair.
Wait until she get home, and then be like, okay.
And I had that, but in my first marriage, because I'll tell everybody. Yes, I've been married twice. Okay. But in my first marriage, my then husband, he would do that. If he got home before me, he would start dinner. Okay. He'd be like, okay, don't worry, I already got dinner going, so you ain't got to worry about it. It'll be ready soon. Don't even worry about it. If clothes needed to be washed. He would go ahead and start that. And, and then I would just, when I came in, I would just come in and chip in. Yeah, just go ahead. Wherever you are, I just go ahead and then you find that when you got two people contributing like that, things get done quicker and there's an appreciation for it.
On both parties.
However, there had been times, after that, where I would come home and you sitting. And you've been home, and ain't nothing, okay, okay, you got home at 2. I ain't get home till 6.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, is a pot sitting on the stove. I mean, it's some water in it.
Did you take the meat out the freezer?
It's something.
What did you do?
So don't sit and wait on me to do that, But I will say, now when I wasn't working and my husband had to go out there and, he was making the money, I will say when he came home, I had his dinner ready. I had his clothes laid out on the bed. So he come home, he could take him a shower and put his clothes on the bed. So while he's taking his shower and changing clothes, I'm fixing the dinner and getting it ready and putting it on the table for him. And I got his drink ready for if he, his little after work cocktail. I had that ready for him as well.
Let me stop you right there because I don't need you to do all that.
It ain't what you need or whatever, but that's me showing my appreciation. Okay. That's just like back in the day when I told you with my grandmama and my granddaddy. Okay. That's me showing my appreciation for you going out there, because I know the bullshit that you got to go through on a daily basis out there as a man, and more so as a black man. Mm-hmm. So when you step in that door, I want you to know that this is your peace. Mm-hmm. So when you come in, you got peace right here. Mm-hmm. I'm not here. Yeah,
and that's a good question. The two of you haven't been married. I haven't ever been married. But in my mind, and I'm not saying that, in my mind, that's all in your mind when you really get married thing. I can understand that, okay, stuff gonna happen. Mm-hmm. But I want to ask, in your house, submission is almost a taboo word when it comes to women. So my question is, what is submission to you? What does it look like for the woman you want to be with? Because I think every woman to a point has to submit to the guy. And the reason why I say that, and it's a difference between submission for control and submission, you my man, I'm supporting you. He can support the woman too, don't get me wrong. People always say, well, he can support me. This is not that. I'm talking about the way my structure in my mind And the way I've been raising people I've been around, the guy was the leader. I can support you. It doesn't mean everything you're going to do is right. And we can talk, and we might say, okay, well, you messed this one up. So now we going my route. That's fine. But my question is, what type of woman did you have, and what did you learn from it as far as going forward, and you the reverse? Because you have to submit to a man. So what does your submission to a man look like? And I say submission because that's what it is. I don't want to have to be butting heads with a guy. If there's a door need to be done, I need to know that he's that kind of guy, okay, it's going to get it done. If you know how to fix it, you do it. If not, you get somebody to do it. Baby, look, it don't need to get fixed. I'm working. Look it up for me, and we'll take care of it. That's fine. He's taking charge. So when I say submissive, it's not a taboo word. It's not meant in a derogatory way. So as a man, what does that look like for you for a woman? And what does it look like you being a woman to a guy?
Okay. So submitting to a man to me is not being controlled. Okay? I'm not trying to control you, but if I say, hey, babe, we're gonna go and go ahead and get some new furniture, we're gonna go and see what we're gonna get. Budget wise. Not what you like. Budget wise. We goes into the furniture store and you see something you like. Now it's a problem. We ain't got the money for that. But I like this. I want this. We had already had that discussion already. We didn't come here for what you like. We came here for what we can afford.
And need. Gotcha.
So that right there is a submission. The other submission is being supportive of my decision. Like you say, if we go through it and it didn't go right, not to say that we can't go at it again, because in my mind I'm like, I know this will work. I know this will work. If you just going by the first time, you be like, I don't want to do this anyway, so if it don't work, we're just going to do something else. And that's not being supportive. Let's try it one more time and see what happens. If it don't work, all right, man. Hey. If you see him, he done gave up, now you're like, no, baby, don't give up. Let's try this. That's when you bring your, your decision in. You know what I mean? It's not being controlled.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So with that takes me all the way up there. I'm there. If you supporting me, I'm there. That takes me all the way out there. I'm like, man, I'm going out in the middle of the ocean with this.
But see, right, like his point where he says being that supportive person, I think that if you're going to be the head of the household, right, and I have to be submissive to you, and you're the leader, I'm looking at you to lead me in a positive direction. And when you're leading me in that positive direction, it's elevating us to the next level.
Right.
However, if you coming back and your leadership sucks, right, and you can't take constructive criticism, and it's not that I'm trying to tear you down, I'm just letting you know, okay, babe, you did this and it didn't quite work. Okay, so basically that plan did not work, so we need to try something else and take it this. Maybe you need to look at doing things this way. So, and if I'm trying to help you with that, or say for instance that you tell me that you're trying to start your business, right? And you give me your ideas that this is what you want to do for your business. Say for instance, you're a truck driver. And you come to me and you say, okay, I'm a truck driver, and my ultimate goal in the next 5 to 6 years is I want to own 2 to 3 trucks.
Okay.
I want to start my own trucking company. And then your wife goes, she said, okay, my man said this is what he want to do. I believe in him, and I think he can do it, especially if he's got the experience, right? So what you do in support of him, you go and you try. Say, for instance, you go to school to get the business, to learn the business, as far as like the entrepreneurship of the business. So you go and try to get that so that you can support him and saying, okay, we're going to write down our goals. This is what we're going to do. This is what you want to do. Okay, how many trucks you want to have in the next 10 years? We're going to plot this out.
Mm-hmm.
Next 10 years, how many trucks you want?
I want a truck a year.
Okay, bam.
We're
going to do a truck a year. Okay, so this is what we need to do. All right, but you're not good with money. Okay, listen to me. You're not good with money.
Okay.
So I say, okay, you're not good with money. I'm better at finances than you are. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Until we can get this on track, I need for you, when you get paid, you need to give me your check so that I'll give you some, that can, sustain you for until you get paid again.
Right.
So in the meantime, I'm going to take this over here and position it so that you can get them trucks you need to get every year. But you tell me that's going to make me less of a man to give you my check.
Well, Trish.
So I'm just saying.
A lot of men is not going to do that.
Listen, no, because I think listening to you talk, what I'm hearing is he told you a dream, you taking his dream over.
No, it's not that I'm taking his dream over.
Hold on. Listen. I'm hearing you say, you have a dream, okay, I'm going to support you, but this how we going to do it. No,
it's not that that's how I did it. No, I asked, when you ask, okay, this is what you want to do. Okay, and in order for dreams to come true, because faith without works is dead. You gotta work. You gotta plan your work, and you gotta work your plan.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, I understand exactly what you're saying.
What I'm saying,
but I understand her too.
No, I'm saying it. But what is happening? This is what I've heard. He told you the dream, and you said, okay, this how we gonna get this done. Mm-hmm. If it's his dream, then give him that. Say, okay, well, you said, well, baby, what are your plans on going through this? How do you plan on going about it? Yeah. And then, but that's not, hold on. And then he tell you, okay, this is because if it's his trucking, he gonna know things that you don't know. Yeah. So give him that to say, listen, okay, this is what it's caused. This is what, if he's been in that field, he already know a lot of things. So instead of saying, okay, well, what's your dream? Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna bop, 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 bop. Okay, well, what have you done? How are you gonna go about to accomplish this? Be an asset to him instead of. Maybe
I didn't explain it correctly.
Okay, because I was listening, but I was like,
yeah, maybe I did not explain it correctly. Okay. But those conversations were had. Okay. So if I'm there to support you and try to be a positive influence for you to make those dreams happen, but in the process, you're not doing money. Yeah, you're not good with money, and you're not doing anything to make that necessarily happen.
Well, is it really a dream then?
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It sounds good, but when you try to, put it, because I think a lot of times, this is a little off the subject, but I think a lot of times, people say things, but when it actually, I was always taught if you got plans and goals and stuff, you need to write them down. And then you need to put that and position it where you can see it on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. So that it will, manifest in your mind, and then it manifests in reality. So, but my thing as far as what the submission looks like, as far as a woman submitting to a man, like you said, I don't think it's a control thing. I'm willing to submit to a man as long as he is leading me in a positive direction where we are elevating ourselves and we're not stagnant or going backwards.
Okay. So, and I totally agree, but I'm guessing because we as women, we can't answer that. We can only say, okay, I know where I've been personally as women. I know where I don't want to go.
Yeah, exactly.
And what we have to be careful of is not to transform what we had and what we've been through onto the new person that's coming in our life. As far as the male. So a lot of times we're already on we look, especially if they show one characteristic of something that we've experienced. Hold up, wait a minute. So to give him that opportunity, when guys come in, and I'm talking to T-Roy on this one, when you all come into a household, like, how do you establish yourself with that woman to make her feel secure enough to trust you to say, okay, this is what we're going to do? Because when you come in, when you by yourself, things work because it's just you. But when you have another person that you're responsible for, and you are equally responsible, and when people get married, they always talk about it's nothing but a piece of paper. No, it's not. Let me tell you, you can't walk away, just walk away and do anything with anyone else unless that piece of paper gets dissolved. If you are in trouble, like sick-wise, and you can't make a decision for yourself, guess what? That wife can come in and yank everything. So that piece of paper carries a lot of weight. So you have to be very careful about, who you're going to entrust certain things to. Not that you can say, okay, well, I didn't want this. She'll go to court, and that stuff can get, overturned simply because she's your wife, and you're not there to have a say-so, or you're not in a position to have a say-so. So when you're coming into a household, and you're trying to establish yourself as a man, what steps do you do to say, okay, I got to make sure this woman understands that I'm the man, not being like, dictatorial or anything, but like I got her. Like, what steps do you take to kind of make her feel secure and say, okay, you know what, I can take this superwoman cape off and just be me? Well,
make a woman want to basically exhale. Just say, he got me.
Well, I will say this. When you first meet the guy, you talk to him and y'all get yourself established, of course, you're dating first. He has to show you that first, period, before you even bring him into your house. You can't bring him into your house after a year and a half, or whatever. You can't do that. He has to show you that first. And then when he come in and continue to do more and give you more, then you know you got something. But if he's not showing you that, he's at his own place, you're at your own place. He's paying his rent, you're paying your rent. I'm gonna tell you another reason how you know you got you one. How you know you got you one, like you say, you get sick, you can't go to work. He's paying his rent, he's also paying your rent. Taking care of your bills until you get on your feet. That's how you know you got you one. Because right then and there, you should be like, you know what? I think we need to be one.
Would you ever leave your place and move in with a woman?
Would I leave my place? I have.
Okay. And so when you moved into hers, did she be dictatorial to you, or did she back down and allow you to step up?
She backed down and she allowed me to step.
And that's all because of what you showed her
all
coming in.
All because of what I showed her coming in. And plus, like I said, you dating her and everything, and she have kids. You being respectful to her kids. You treating her kids as if they are your own. So you got you one. You know what I'm saying? The family dynamics of that with stepkids.
Yes, because
you have
blended families.
A blended family, and you have stepkids who ain't ready for that new guy or that new woman because you're not their parent.
Exactly.
Especially if they're at an age to where you be like, well, you know what? I'm not about to give in to him. I'm not about to give in to her. That ain't my mama. And especially if they're siblings and they're brothers or brothers and sisters or sisters and sisters, they're not going to give in to that.
Oh my God. You can just tear off a piece of the paper towel and give it a go.
I don't know what your hand signals me.
Oh my God. Excuse me. Continue on.
So, they couldn't.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. But you have to know that the parents are comfortable, with this significant other for the kids also. When you have kids, man, the kids means a lot. I got stepkids that don't like me or whatever because
you're not dad.
No, because of the previous relationship. The stepdaddy was not the stepdaddy he's supposed to have been.
So you come in and change dynamics and you become the villain because they didn't have the structure.
I'm the bad man. But I had talks with them and I never showed them no negative energy. I kept being myself. they accepted me for who I am for their mother, but not for themselves.
Uh-huh.
They're grown and gone now. You know what I mean?
Do you appreciate anything that you've done?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. We don't have that conversation.
Okay.
You know? I mean, you know, we don't have talks or whatever, but you know, like I say, before you can add someone else to your foundation that you already done built, you have to know that they are the one. You know?
Yeah.
How do you know? Because I think you always learning about your person until when you all get to age and y'all start finishing each other's sentences. When a person can walk in and they whole energy say, okay, you know, he don't feel good. Or he done had it bad. Like, you don't even have to ask, like, what happened. You kind of, like, already know. Like, y'all are connected. But that takes time. Some people can gravitate towards each other and they build that. And then others, you know, it's going to happen over time. And I've always been told that, you know, the first 5 years is hard years. And if you make it to 10, you're blessed. And anything after that is just God-given. You know, but like I said, I've been fortunate to see marriages that last 64 years. You know, 30, 45, 50 years. So, and that's stuff that, because I've seen it, I desire that. And I don't know, that's the reason why I haven't, because either I saw something in the person, I was like, they ain't ready. Or I said, no.
But you got to
I'm not
accept
ready.
that, though.
And
see what you saying. You're not ready.
I'm not ready.
But when are you going to be
No, that's not it. I knew I wasn't ready because I wasn't all in. I was going, and I was going, and I was like, I'm not all in. I knew that because I know what I desire, and then I saw stuff in people that and I desired them. However, there were things that they were doing that I was like, this is not what I need in a man. It's what I want, but it wasn't what I need.
And see, a lot of times you look at what you want instead of what you need when it comes to relationships.
And I think that has a big effect on structure in a household because I believe you have little cracks that you don't address. Those little cracks become big seams. They become holes, and then everything starts falling.
The foundation just crumbles.
Exactly, because when you people don't date, they don't get to know each other. And so you learn a lot once you get, even after you date, you may still get married.
People don't court each other.
Yes.
They don't. You can date because dating is, you know, you talk. No, dating is when you talk to multiple people. It's not necessarily you're intimate with those people, but you're dating different people to get to know them. But when you are courting someone, you are courting them to get to know them, to make it's growing. You want it to grow into a relationship and eventually into marriage. Back in the day, people used to court each other.
I think it made a difference.
And it did. Now people are just like, oh, she basically, you know, shut up. You know, nowadays people are so quick to just jump into, you go out one time, you in a relationship.
No, I promise you, I just had this conversation. Today is Sunday. I just had this conversation Thursday. You know what the person told me? I just dive in. If it's going to, if it's not, it's not. He do not date. Like if he meet you, you like him, he like you, y'all attracted, y'all in a relationship. He told me verbatim, we're in a relationship right after that.
No.
Because his idea
after he get the nookie?
No. After the first date.
We go out. If we meet each other, we go out, we talk, I'm interested in you, you interested in me, I'm attracted, you attracted to me, we in a relationship after that. That man he said he don't date. He said, I'm gonna tell you why. He said he's at an age now where dating for what? He said either you gonna know what you want, I'm gonna know what I want. I said, but you don't know me.
Right. Exactly.
But guess what? We'll figure that out along the way.
No. We gonna figure that out beforehand.
This is what he said. If you have too many distractions, how do you know? How are you going to give me that actual opportunity if you have too many distractions? If you know you're interested in me and it's vice versa, nothing else matters. And so, bam, I was like, oh.
You was in a relationship?
Yes.
So did you break it off?
No.
Did you break it off?
Hell yeah.
No? Oh, you did?
Yes. I'm like, that don't work for me. That do not work for me.
Well,
and look, if I give you my glass.
You was already about to be controlled.
Look.
Who?
No, look, if we go out, right?
and I give you a bite of my food, we're in a relationship.
Wow.
No, if we're out and I buy you a drink,
We're in a relationship.
Oh my God.
if we go out and you pay the tab on dinner,
We're in a relationship.
Relationship. Oh Lord. But you know what? That calls for a whole new conversation. But
Okay.
we don't have time today to get into it. But trust and believe, we might have a part 2 to this.
what a
with-
relationship
Believe
is.
it.
Yeah.
Believe it.
What substantiates a relationship? That's probably what we're gonna talk about next.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking your time out to check us out. We really appreciate it. When you could have been doing something else, you took the time to listen and watch us. So we greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like, the share, and subscribe. Also, click that notification button. Yeah, you can get notified for when a new show comes on, so that you ain't gotta go looking for it. You hit the ding ding, and it'll come right to you. Okay. I am your girl, Lynn Roberts.
I'm that girl, DC.
And I'm your boy T. Roy.
And remember, everyone has an opinion, and you are entitled to yours. Don't ever be afraid to express it. Until next time, smooches.
Holla at you.